All right, Charlie, why don't you tell the good folks at home what we have on the bar tonight?
Tonight we are honored to be joined by Elijah Craig, 18-year single barrel.
Okay, Charlie, Elijah Craig, 18-year. This is a bottle that is not so easy to find, right?
It is not. I mean, and rightfully so. It's 18 years old. It's a single barrel. It's from Heaven Hill. Like, talk about checking boxes. And I feel like we've been very fortunate lately. We've been on a run of bottles that we have found in the wild and paid retail for.
Which I'm glad you brought that up, because I have to give a shout out to Leanne at our local Kroger Wine and Spirits, because it is because of her that I have this bottle.
Thank you, Leanne.
Thank you, Leanne.
You're a kind and courteous young woman.
She's doing a great job over there at Kroger Wine and Spirits, and you need to go see her. But
so
not too often, because I still want to be able to get stuff myself.
So you got this at Kroger?
Kroger, yes.
What'd this set us back?
$151.
So two things jump into my mind. Number one is, boy, we have to stop spending so much money on bourbon. And then number two, I think, man, that's a good deal. In the same, because I've actually seen this in the wild in some independent liquor stores, and the cheapest that I saw it was $189.99.
Yeah, I think typically that's about what you'll find it for, $180, $190. Don't even Google search it, because you'll see stupid, ridiculous prices. But, you know, we were talking before about the fact that you and I have both had this before. It's been a while.
It has been.
Both of us.
Yep.
And neither one of us really cared for it, right?
So, yes. I vividly remember, and it's been years, but I had a gentleman give me a sample of the Elijah Craig 23 and the Elijah Craig 18. And he raved about, oh, this is great, and this is this, and this is that. And I just remember being very underwhelmed by both of them, to the point where I really just didn't feel like it was something worth chasing or getting.
I remember it being very off-putting to me. I feel like it was very bitter. Now, I will say this was early in my bourbon journey too, so that's why I'm so anxious to try this tonight to see. And obviously they're single barrels, so there could be a lot of difference between the barrels. But
I'm pumped for this one. I really think we did well. You did well. At the price point, I think that's as cheap as you're going to get one in this bourbon economy.
Yeah, I would say so.
And it's 18 years old. I mean, you're in some rarefied air. So
let's get into it. We'll talk about that a little bit more.
Give me the specifics.
Okay, so 18 years old, 90 proof. Yeah.
Do we like that?
Which
we don't like that.
It's 18 years old. You get a lot of. Sometimes, depending on where it's at in the rick house, proof is going to go up. Proof is going to go down. I don't know how much they proof this down.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, right?
Yeah.
Of how much water is in the mash bill, because that's interesting. I'd love to know that. How about a mash bill? Speaking of
mash bill, the standard Elijah Craig mash bill: 78 corn, 12 barley, 10 rye. So
it's that inverse,
a little mixed up there. Yeah.
All right, let's nose this sucker.
Ooh, I like that nose.
Heck, a good nose.
That's a really nice nose.
There is a weightiness to the nose that is not ethanol, but it is so pungent is not the word. It's a strong nose. It's not what you expect it's going to be at 90 proof.
It's a lot of barrel.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of barrel, but it's pleasant. It's got that cola note that I love.
There's a little bit of that kind of and maybe it's psychological, but that kind of barley, that grain, there's a little bit of grain smell in it.
I think that's what I was just trying to, there's something there that it really stands out, and maybe that's what it is.
And then there is that burnt charcoal, sweet oakiness.
You're doing good tonight. I'm going to just let you keep going.
Boy,
there's some honey there too.
There is a sweetness. That is a really, really nice nose.
But the oak is really present, but in a very good way on the nose.
Okay, I'm kind of excited now. Cheers. What say you?
Oak water.
Oak water. Yeah, it's. You go, and then I'm gonna.
So I want to be fair to it, because I have a feeling this is one that I need to kind of come back to here in a minute and let that oak kind of settle. But to be honest with you, and it's not an overly unpleasant oakiness, but that's basically all I tasted. And then you're kind of waiting on the back end. You're kind of waiting for that oak to dissipate and some flavor to come through. But I feel like at 90 proof, it just, the flavor is not there. It's like
Nobody's
it's
coming.
like Elijah Craig light.
Yeah, nobody's coming.
No.
It is almost too delicate. To your point, it's like as soon as it hit my palate, as soon as I imbibed, I immediately thought, boy, that's a strange mouthfeel. And then I swirl it around and hold it, and you're waiting for something, right? You're waiting for flavor or spice. I do get a little bit of tingle kind of on the back and the back sides of my tongue, kind of mid palate. But to your point, there's just nothing there to it. It's very delicate. It's very, I guess you could say it's easy drinking in the sense that it's like drinking nothing at all except oak water.
It is very sippable.
Very sippable. It's very delicate. It's maybe you spin it the other way and say, oh, it's very refined and it's very nice. And
I guess
it's
listen,
not for us.
On a second,
It's not
on
for
my
us.
second taste. I'm getting more of the caramels and the vanillas, and there's a little bit of light fruit on it. The finish is pretty good. The finish really sticks around. I'm getting some of that barrel char on the finish. The nose is fantastic.
The nose is amazing.
I don't hate it. Like I feel like I hated the last bottle that I tried years ago.
I will tell you this, what I am figuring out, and not to cut you off, but if we cut through all the nonsense, I think we would both agree, and if I'm speaking for you, then you tell me, but this is just not for us. This age, this proof, this particular flavor profile is not something that we enjoy.
Yeah, and even going back to the Knob Creek 18, which we trashed and then we picked in a blind.
Bring it up.
That had a lot more flavor, a lot more punch to it. I mean, there was more there. Like I got a really nice cherry note for that.
If I'm thinking about the older things that we've had, we did the Fang Pursuit, which was not much higher proof than this.
No.
I believe it's 93 or 94.
Full of flavor.
It was full of flavor. And then even the George Dickel 17 year, I think that's back there. I think that's a better pour, and it's not much higher than that.
The controversial Granddad 16 year.
Yep. Again, 100 proof, over 90.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like at 90 proof, and this is one of those things where when you have tasted enough and drank enough and sampled enough product where you can look at something and be like, I'm probably not going to like that. And the 90 proof on this one, it wasn't enough to kind of scare us away, but I think we all knew how this was going to end.
Yeah, and having said all of that, kudos to Elijah Craig for continuing to put out an 18-year single barrel product. That's not $400, right?
Yet.
I mean, name me another 18-year single barrel that you can that it's a yearly release.
Yeah.
I don't know of one.
Well, and to your point, I know there are very few single barrels that are yearly releases. There, if any, you can find like some Whistle Pig 15 years single barrels, but those are going to run you $350 plus. And a lot of that's sourced from Canada. So, kudos to them. I am sure there are a lot of people that really enjoy this bottle. And the longer we do this,
for a newer bourbon drinker,
100%, or just a normal,
and
just a
someone
normal
who's
bourbon,
getting into it and like, I want to try this 18-year. This may be for you. It may be wonderful.
Well, and you got right in my same lane as we were going. You cut me off because we often talk about when you're starting out. The realization, the longer we do this channel, is we are in a small subset of a small subset. We are the bourbon guys that like melt your face off, 135 proof, barrel, like let's go. I want to feel it. I want to taste it. There are a lot of people that have been drinking bourbon and whiskeys for years, decades, and they don't enjoy what we enjoy. I think this is a simple example of this is definitely for the masses. This is not for Glenn and Charlie. And shame on you, Heaven Hill, for not thinking about our feelings. Unbelievable.
Well, and going back to what you were just saying, we may have talked about this a little bit. I feel like I've kind of started to appreciate some of the lower proof stuff again, where I was, it's got to be barrel proof, where
100%.
Some of the more nuanced, more delicate stuff, but it's still got to have flavor. It's still got to hit you.
Yes.
Like, I feel like an Elijah Craig toasted is probably a lot better than this.
Not probably. It's not probably. It's and I'll speak for you. I'll speak for my palate. I would take an Elijah Craig Toasted or an Elijah Craig Barrel Proof or an Elijah Craig Private Label or Single Barrel, and those are $80 or below over this particular product.
A lot easier attainable.
Yeah.
I will say, I mean, the more I sip on it, the more I can pull those familiar Elijah Craig notes out, that candy bar note that I love, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
It's a good bottle. It's just not what we don't intersect. Like it's not in our wheelhouse. It's not what we like. There's nothing bad about it. There's nothing that you taste and you're like, oh, there's a Band-Aid taste or a chemical or whatever. It tastes like bourbon and it tastes like Heaven Hill, and we both love Heaven Hill, but just this configuration is not in our wheelhouse, and there's no way to separate out the fact that there are, in our humble opinions, better products at less price.
I would agree. Don't hate it. You want to rate it?
Not really. I'm again.
Come on. No, we're gonna rate it.
I give it a 6. I give it a 6.5. Okay. I give it a 6.5 because I would, if it was on my bar, I would keep revisiting it because there's nothing that says, oh, I can't drink that. But if this was on my bar, the best this would be used for would be trying to give to people who would be like, not impress them, but be like, this is the oldest thing on the bar.
Yeah. And if I rate it on just pure taste, then that's probably like a 6 point. I'd go 6.7 maybe.
And this is why Heaven Hill is never going to send us anything.
Now I would love to give it more just because, once again,
what
it's
it
an
is.
18-year bourbon. It's a single barrel. It's not $300 or $400. So,
but this is the thing, and we talk about this a lot. Is it's subjective, right?
Yeah.
Like
it goes back to the question: should it exist? Is it worth putting out an 18-year-old single barrel just for the sake of putting out an 18-year-old single barrel?
I think
if
this is
not great.
Yeah, well, but it's not great to us.
I don't know.
This is what I keep coming back to: is this is not designed for us. We have become so palate deaf that it's just it doesn't do anything for us. And it's not in the flavor profile. We could give this to, if there were 100 bourbon drinkers, we could give it to 100 of them and 80 would love it.
Maybe.
Say, this is a great bottle.
That'll be interesting to see. Maybe we'll...
Where are we going to get 100 people? Are we doing that test?
Yeah, we can just do one person.
If you're in a Kroger parking lot, we may be like, taste this. But
all right. Is there anything left to say about this?
I mean, comment in the comment section where you comment on comments. And let us know if you have had Elijah Craig 18 or the 23 and what your thoughts are.
Yeah, we'd love to know.
Yeah.
And check us out on socials. Instagram, So in a Bourbon, TikTok, Whiskey Realtor, and Facebook. We're there if you want to find us.
Hey.
What else, Charlie?
Buy a t-shirt. Link in bio. And most importantly, tell them what to do.
Keep those wallets loose.
And your buttonholes very tight. Good night, everybody. Heaven Hill, we still love you. Send us stuff.
They don't know. They don't care. They'll never see this.
Nobody's watching. What's our hook?
Are we ready? I don't think there is a hook. I just remembered the hook, but we'll get it.
What is the hook?
That this is a bottle that we've both tried in the past and didn't like. Have our tastes changed?
Thank you for doing that.
Well, hello there. Charlie, what do we have on the bar tonight?
Tonight, we are honored to be in the presence
like
of our right. Well, hello, man. Bring the energy, bring the noise, bring the energy, bring the noise. Ha! Fake it till you make it. Now say it.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right.
Following up the success of our, because I assume this will be the next video we release, or something. I don't know. How many more do we have in the can? Do we have anything?
We don't have anything
Excellent.
in the can,
I love
except
it.
for alpacas.
Action.